Do I have to give an opening statement or something?
Just talk about getting the job and how exciting that was when Coach Freeze, I assume, or Coach told you were the starter.
Yeah, you know, it was good to hear that from Coach and to have that conversation with him. It was nothing crazy, not a long conversation, but to hear that and kind of, you know, get past the whole competition of everything and, you know, hearing about it and wondering about it. Obviously, I'm always going to be competing. I'm always going to be trying to play my best, so that doesn't change. But, you know, to be able to know when you're going in practice, you know, what group you're going with, I think that definitely helps, and it's good for the mind.
Hugh said he felt like you were maybe pressing a little bit early on, and then this last scrimmage you kind of a little more comfortable. Did you kind of feel that?
Yeah, you know, scrimmage one, didn't have a great day. You know, I felt like I'd been practicing well, and then in the scrimmage just made a couple mistakes that, you know, I haven't been making in practice. A couple things that just I hadn't been doing, which was frustrating, and then a couple other things that happened in the scrimmage was just a kind of a frustrating day. But second scrimmage, I thought we played well. You know, I thought I played like I've been playing in practice, which was good to do that in a scrimmage setting. I'm excited that we're done with scrimmages so that I can be live again, so we don't have the whistle blowing on. Sometimes I'm sacked, sometimes I'm not. So, but it was good, yeah.
So you kind of take us back to May and your decision to leave Michigan State. Sort of, you know, what went into that, and what was it about Auburn that made you comfortable to make that move?
Yeah, you know, I'll probably steer clear of talking about anything that happened at Michigan State. You know, it was a quick thing that happened. You know, if you would have asked me a week before I had committed or a week before I got in the portal if I was transferring, I would have been like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, but there's a few things that happened, and that went in the past of the whole off season. But then, you know, when I entered the portal, you know, talking with Coach Freeze, talking with the coaches here, you know, I thought it was a no-brainer to come here, and I thought it was a great opportunity. And so far, it's been great being down here.
Yeah, what was it about, you know, maybe his offenses, Coach Montgomery's offenses, that made you think, okay, this is a system I can maybe, you know, be successful in?
Yes, when I came down here on my visit, me and my dad were here for probably like 9 hours, and a lot of that was watching film and talking through the offense and, you know, seeing the players that we have, and that was all very encouraging. With Coach Free's offense, obviously he's had a lot of success with, you know, all types of quarterbacks. Last year I think they got to their 4th string quarterback at some point, and they were still winning games. So, you know, just seeing that and seeing the way that he game plans and hearing about him as a play caller, and then Coach Montgomery as well. If you look at his track record, you know, his time at Baylor, his time at Tulsa, you know, he had explosive offenses ranked in the top like 2 in the country for like 3 years in a row or something like that. So it's fun for me to be able to play for an offensive head coach and to have a lot of people devoted to quarterback and quarterback development and all that stuff. So it's been good so far.
Hey, talk about your receivers, what you've seen from them. What do you feel like you've got there?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of new guys. You know, I think we got 3 transfers just from the summer, the same time I came. I think a couple more guys came in January, but then there's some guys that were here that are making plays too. So, you know, you got VAR, you got Jay Fair, both guys playing the slot that can really move, make great catches, very athletic. You got guys like Shane Hooks, Jair, you know, Caleb Burton's in that mix of both inside and outside. You know, Nick Martiner playing on the outside, big body like Shane. You guys saw the catch Shane made in the scrimmage. You know, everyone talks about how big his hands are. He just makes plays and understands how to run routes and stuff like that. So I'm definitely missing a couple other guys, but I think we got a good collection of receivers.
How about Auburn? What makes Auburn so special? I know you've only been here for a short time, but everyone says something special about being on the Plains.
Yeah, like you said, I think I'm on like 3 months now being down here, but it's been great so far. I love it down here. This is my kind of place, my kind of people down here. Everybody's been very welcoming, and just good people. You know, people are just nicer down here. A lot of people say that. It feels like, you know, everybody's friendly. Seems like everybody goes to church, which is what I believe in. And so it's been great, and everybody since I've been down here, like I said, has been very welcoming. It's been fun.
Your dad, your granddad, football's been kind of thing. How valuable is that as a quarterback to have that kind of background and that kind of advice and those kind of things?
Yeah, I think it's, a big advantage to have that and to grow up around it. I grew up around football my whole life. I was riding the team bus with my dad when I was like 5. Sitting watching film, sitting in meetings when I really didn't even know what was going on, but I was just hearing it. And so I was taught it at a young age. And then my dad, he played quarterback too, so he's a coach and he was a quarterback. So getting to have that wealth of knowledge with those guys and the success that they had as coaches is definitely something that I'm very fortunate for and very, very thankful for.
Damari talked about meeting you on his visit to Michigan State back in the day. What can you say about the running back room, and especially Damari in the offseason? What you've seen from them so far?
Yeah, I think our running back room's loaded. I think we have a number of guys that can go out there and get the job done. Obviously, Jarquez is a special player. I mean, you guys have seen that. In my short time practicing with him, I've seen that, and then I was able to work out with him in the summer and just get to know him a little bit. And so that was great. He's an awesome dude. Damari, also a great guy. He presents a unique set of skills. He can catch the ball. He's quick. He gets in and out of his cuts really well. And he's also, just a good guy to be around. Brian Batty or Betty, I don't even know how to say it yet still. He's a running back of his own, in the way that his vision, obviously he's a smaller guy, but sometimes he gets lost back there in the backfield, and all of a sudden these little windows, he's able to really split through it. And then Jeremiah, as a freshman, he's been making plays all fall. So I think we got a great running back room. Like I said, a bunch of great guys. And then Damari. I met Damari in the fall. He was actually at my place for his visit, so got to know him before getting down here.
Your numbers as a quarterback are significantly better when the team runs the football successfully. What do you think might lead to something like that? Do you feel like this team's going to be able to run the football?
Yes, I do believe we'll be able to run the football. I think our offensive line definitely has that capability. I feel like they've shown that so far in the fall. And like I said, our running backs make plays. And, I think if you look at my 2 years of playing, obviously, like you said, we ran the ball better 2 years ago than we did last year. And a lot of things go into that, offensively, what you can and can't do depends on your personnel, really. And we had different personnel 2 years ago than we did last year. And it wasn't just the running back position. We had different guys up front as well, different, a lot of things play into that. And so, but yeah, I mean, if you just want to be straight about it, my 2 years, my stats were better when we ran the ball, but, there's a lot, you can look at that a lot of different ways. So I'm just focused on going and executing our offense.
How different is this offense compared to what you ran at Michigan State? What are the biggest adjustments you had to make?
Yeah, it's definitely different. Everyone talks about the RPO, and that's definitely a big part of our offense. We did some RPO stuff at my last place, but not a ton. So people want to call Michigan State pro style. It's definitely like more, I guess you call it pro style than what we run here. But I feel like the pros are changing too. So it's not just turn and hand it off anymore. I feel like so. It's obviously more spread offense here, more up tempo. So all those things I've done a little bit of in the past. It just wasn't a staple of the offense I was in. So just getting used to it, talking to coach, trying to learn the best I can of what he wants and what he's looking for and what he's had success with in the past. And so there's differences, some similarities, and like I said, I'm just trying to go play well.
What was that process of kind of just fitting into this team when you came later than not than everyone else, but by then a lot of people getting here in the fall, fitting into this new scheme and also new teammates?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I wanted to do is just be myself. I didn't want to come down here and try to be somebody else. Obviously, it's a different part of the country, a different conference. But I think if you go into a new place and try to be something you're not, everybody can tell that. And so I'll just try to come down here and do what I do and work hard and try to prove myself, in our workouts first, and then just getting to know guys. I feel like I've been able to do that and get to build some relationships, which has been great. but like I said, you know, just trying to be me and keep doing what I've been doing my whole life and what's got me here. So that was about it.
You ever spent your time in this part of the country before?
I used to vacation like my whole childhood down in Destin, Florida. So we would drive through here quite a bit, or drive through Alabama every year. But I've never like spent an extended amount of time in the state of Alabama until now. But I love it down here, and it's been great so far. So I've really enjoyed my time.
From your own eyes, what was that battle like between you and Robbie, and what role, if any, do you see for him going forward in this offense?
I thought it was good, healthy competition. You know, I don't think it was anything that was, toxic or anything like that. Like sometimes quarterback competitions can be. I have a lot of respect for Robbie, and you know, we're still obviously talking still, and everything's good. But it was good competition, and as far as you know, the last part of the question, you know, that's not really up to me. I'm sure that Coach will figure that out. You know, I'm gonna leave that to him, and I'm just gonna focus on executing what I need to when I'm in the game.
Hey, what about your skill set translates into this offense? Like, what do you think you do well that works with this offense?
You know, I think I'm an accurate quarterback. I feel like that. I feel like, you know, I feel like when we've been going fast in my past, like 2-minute drill, I feel like we were efficient doing that. And so with the up-tempo stuff, I feel like that was a plus in my game my last 2 years. And so just seeing defenses, diagnosing defenses, being able to think quick and process quickly is definitely something that you have to do in this offense. I feel like I'm able to do that. And so just now going out there and executing like I talked about. So, you know, trying to perfect Coach's offense and run the way he wants to.
Leadership and command are 2 words that Coach Freeze has used when saying why he won the job. How have those characteristics, leadership and command, helped you A, win the job, and B, gel with teammates?
You know, I think it goes back to, like I said, just being me and trying not to do too much. You know, some guys hear the word leadership and think that they have to like go yell at everybody or you know, do something crazy. You know, leadership comes in a lot of different shapes and sizes, and you know, there's a lot of different ways of doing it. And so sometimes you do have to get on guys. Sometimes you just got to put your arm around a guy and whisper something to him, you know. But in terms of command, I think command comes back to just knowing your stuff. You know, I don't think you can command a room if you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know the offense, or you don't know how hard you're working and all that stuff. So just showing up every day, being consistent, while also, you know, striving to be the best I can be and pushing myself first. I feel like if I just focus on those things, and you know, the leadership aspect is a whole different thing than command, I guess, in my eyes.
Peyton, it was mentioned to us that you showed up kind of with a book of everybody trying to learn their names. What was that? Somebody give you advice to do that, or is it something you just came up on your own?
No, nobody gave me advice to do that. It's just, you know, like you said, leadership. I feel like I don't think you can really lead within an organization if you don't know most people's names. You know, if you walk past someone in the hallway, I just feel uncomfortable if I don't know their name. And you know, I'd be lying if I said I know everybody's name already. So I'm still trying to learn everybody, but it's just like just a weird feeling. I don't like, you know, working with people when I don't know their name. I feel like that's disrespectful in a way if you don't know someone's name. You know, it's never good if you're talking with somebody and you don't think they know your name. So just trying to do that and get to know people, and I guess get to know somebody starts with their name. So
you had a notebook with like mug shots of everybody's names?
Mug shots.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a little stapled sheet. It was probably like four or five pages or so with everybody. It pretty much was everybody's mugshot, but it was their name, what they do, and their phone number. So that was useful too, to have people's phone numbers.
Was that something that you did at Michigan State, or was this like a first time thing doing that?
I had asked for that at Michigan State, and it was never really given to me. And that's not, you know, I'm not trying to hate on anybody. Just we didn't get around to it, or didn't have everybody's picture or something. But you know, I was there for 4 years, so I pretty much learned everybody's name. It was kind of the new people, or like the student managers that are out there, because those guys cycle in and out pretty quick, and just trying to, you know, have their name too.
You also, on the subject of Robbie, you know, when you hear Coach Freeze say things like, Payton's going to have to keep playing really well because Robbie is doing so well in scrimmages and practices. How much sort of positive pressure is that to have a guy that you know is playing well behind you? How much does that sort of help you, stay on top of the game?
Yeah, I don't think that matters personally because you're already thinking that yourself. It's not like you get the job and it's like, oh, now I can relax and do nothing. You're still playing. You're still trying to play well. And I'm focused on playing well for our team to win games. I'm not trying to play well to keep my job. I don't think that's, if you're looking at it like that, it's kind of like why you playing. You don't play just to keep your job. You play to win. And so I'll be working as hard as I've ever worked right now. There's no relaxing or, just chilling. We got a big season ahead of us with a lot of great opponents. So I've always thought I need to be on my game, so that doesn't change. And that's the mindset I'll take.
How about, at Michigan State, you get to play Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State. What's one team you're looking at this season that you're like, I'm pumped to play team X?
There's a lot of teams I'm excited to play, but honestly, the most exciting game is going to be the first one, just to get in our stadium and see what it's like to play in front of our crowd. Like you said, I've played in front of big crowds before, so that's not new. Played in big games before, but I'm excited to get to play against the opponents that we play in our division and in this conference, and I think it's going to be an exciting season with a lot of fun environments.
When you're looking at teams, potential destinations, and you look at how much Hugh Freeze want to improve the passing game, quarterback play, receivers, offensive line, everything. How much of a big deal is that? Because it's emphasized, it's something they want to do well, better. One of the worst passing offenses in the country last year, obviously.
Oh, and just like coming here, you're saying?
Yeah, how much is that when you're looking at, a team needs help in the passing game? How much did you look at the offensive stats and everything?
I didn't really look at the offensive stats much from last year. I knew that it was kind of a tough year just as a team. I heard things when I got here about what they did with the old staff and the old team, but, I wasn't really focused on that. I was more looking at Coach Freeze's past statistics of the guys that he's been working with, and same with Coach Montgomery. And it seemed like they were doing good stuff, and obviously both of them have great track records. So that's what I was focused on. I wasn't focused on, last year's stats here, I guess, because it was a completely different staff.
You got a deep group of tight ends. What can you tell us about the guys in that room? Anyone in particular you've bonded with, hit it off with?
Yeah, it's been great. I feel like I've grown pretty close with all those guys, gotten to spend some good time with all of them. And, Valdo was one of the first guys I met when I got here. Tyler Fromm, same thing. Luke Deal, I think I met him on my visit. So all those guys, Big Frage, got to hang out with him in the summer a little bit too. So all good guys, all good players. They all have different skill sets that are all going to contribute to what we're doing on offense. So I think we got a good room at tight end as well.
Hey, what's your relationship been with Freeze since you got here? He's talked about being a practice jerk a little bit and trying to motivate guys, encourage them, but motivate them. What specifically has your relationship been with him when you're watching film and he's kind of pushing you?
I think it's been good. Obviously, like I said before, it's different having an offensive head coach, and especially someone who's called plays before. It's not just me and my offensive coordinator anymore. It's not me, old coordinator, and head coach, all seeing the same stuff. So I think it's been good. I expect Coach to push me. I feel like that's definitely something that he's going to do and going to continue to do. But I feel like it's been good. I love everything Coach is preaching. I believe in what Coach is preaching. And so I think our relationship will just continue to grow and, move in a positive direction.
How does that work, I guess, from the standpoint of the Hugh Freeze, obviously having a big quarterback background, but Phil Montgomery going to be the main play caller. So from working with both of them, I guess, who do you spend more time with, or kind of what does that coaching look like from both of them, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I would say I spend more time with Coach Montgomery just because Coach Freeze has different responsibilities as the head coach. He's doing different stuff in the summer with different people. So, the head coach obviously is going to have a little bit more tight of a schedule than the offensive coordinator. That's everywhere. So, got to spend good time with Coach Montgomery and learn about, what he's looking at and what he thinks play calling wise and stuff like that. But I've also got to spend good time with Coach Freeze too at times and learn the same stuff from him. So as we spend more time together, we'll get more comfortable with each other and what everybody's looking at. So I think it's been good so far.
Payton, what did you graduate in at Michigan State, and what did you study here at Auburn?
What was that, sorry?
What did you graduate in at Michigan State? What are you studying here at Auburn?
I graduated, I majored in communications and got a business minor, so nothing exciting. And here I'm taking I'm not getting my master's or anything. I'm taking like a coaching class. And, I don't even know what the other two classes are, but it's early in the semester. But I'll take care of my grades. I'm not worried about that.
I know you got 2 years of eligibility left. Was your plan to come here and play 1 year or 2 years, or what was sort of your plan coming in?
I didn't think too much about that. I'm just trying to play well and put myself in an opportunity to, hopefully have a decision at the end of the season, because that would mean that things went well for us as a team. So that's my focus, is just to go out there and play well and win games. When you win games, everything else takes care of itself. So that's my focus, and I think we got a team that can win some games for sure.
I think about 3 or 4 more. I think some quarterbacks are really goal-oriented, some aren't. Are you a goal-oriented guy, and if so, what are those goals that you're trying to strive for this season?
I would say I have goals, but it's more like daily goals and like weekly goals than it is long-term goals. Like I just said, my goal is to win as many games as we can, and I've seen that in my own career the last 2 years. When you win games, everything's great. When you don't win games, everything's not so great. And so, my goal is just to win as many games as we can and to expect to win every time we walk out there. And I believe that starts with your preparation. So that goes to the daily and the weekly goals of being prepared every week for when we step on the field. And for me personally, when I take that snap behind center, knowing that I've done everything I can to be best prepared for that game, mentally, physically, emotionally, all that stuff. And so that's what I would say.
Is your mentality, I guess, have to be different, especially you and a lot of the transfers, when you're coming, this is your second school, where you're coming here and it's a tumultuous time at Auburn, it's Freeze's first year. You're kind of trying to establish something, maybe even for something that's going to last after you're gone. I guess what mentality do you have with this? Is it different than high school or different than maybe when you were at Michigan State?
In terms of trying to prove something?
Or just trying to build something for maybe, because maybe you have to build something that championships come after you here.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's kind of your mentality? How do you attack that? You and the transfers.
Yeah, you always want to leave a legacy wherever you're at, and you always want to leave a place better than you found it. Whether that's you sit down and eat at a table, or when when you show up and play football games. So my focus is just coming in, and like I said, it revolves around winning, and there's a lot of things that go into winning. But when you win, people remember you, and when you win a lot of games, people really remember you. So doing everything I can to put myself in a good position for success, which ultimately helps our team succeed. And so you leave a legacy by doing things the right way, by working hard, and so that's what I'm focused on. And I believe that if I can accomplish that, then good things will come from that. But I'll leave all that to everybody else to kind of decide.
Anything else?
Is there, the pressure, not pressure may not be the right word, but the responsibility for an SEC quarterback, whoever it is, wherever it is pretty immense. How do you deal with that?
Absolutely. Obviously it's a big responsibility. We have a huge fan base. We have a lot of people that put a lot of time into this football program, a lot of people that care a lot about it. So I take that responsibility very seriously, and I care about it more than anybody. And so I definitely understand the position that I'm in, and I'm blessed and thankful for that. And I think the best way to deal with that pressure is just to, for me and what I believe in is, I believe that my Heavenly Father's in control, and if I turn everything over to Him, then I'll be at peace with whatever happens. As long as I do everything I can. I'm gonna work as hard as I can. But that's where my peace comes from, and that's where all the pressure you're able to deal with pressure that way. If you have something to fall back on, and I definitely, know that that's the most important thing in my life, and I believe that if I just focus on that, everything will fall into place, as well as working my butt off every day, which I can promise you I'm gonna do.
Thanks, everybody.